Hello, everybody. Thought I'd finish up the 12 patriarchs today with the very last son, Binyamin, or Binyamin. Binyamin. Here we go. The copy of the words of Binyamin, which he commanded his sons to observe after he had lived 125 years. And he kissed them and said, As Yitzchak was born to Abraham in his old age, so also was I to Yaakov. And since Rachel, my mother, died in giving birth to me, I had no milk. Therefore I was nursed by Bilhah, her female servant. For Rachel remained barren for 12 years after she had borne Yosef. And she prayed to Yahweh with fasting 12 days, and she conceived and bore me. For my father loved Rachel dearly, and prayed that he might see 2 sons born from her. Therefore I was called Binyamin, that is, a son of days. And when I went to Mitzrayim to Yosef, my brother recognized me. He said to me, What did they tell my father when they sold me? And I said to him, They dipped your coat in blood and scented and said, Know whether this is your son's coat. And Yosef said to me, Even so, brother, the Canaanite merchants stole me by force. And it came to be that as they went on their way, they hid my garment, as though a wild beast had met me and slain me. And so his companions sold me to the Ishmaelites, and they did not lie in saying this, for he intended to conceal the deeds of my brothers from me. And he called his brothers to him and said, Do not tell my father what you have done to me, but tell him as I have told Binyamin. And let the thoughts among you be such, and do not let these matters come to the heart of my father. Therefore, you also, my sons, love Yahweh, Creator, the Shamayim and the earth, and guard his commands, following the example of the good and Kodesh man, Yosef. And let your heart be toward good, even as you know me, for he that has his heart right sees all matters rightly. Revere Yahweh and love your neighbor. And even though the spirits of Belial claim you to afflict you with every evil, yet they do not rule over you, even as they did not rule over Yosef, my brother. How many men intended to slay him? And Yahweh shielded him. For he that reveres Yahweh and loves his neighbor cannot be smitten by the spirit of Belial, being shielded by the reverence of Yahweh. Nor can he be ruled over by the plots of men or beasts, for he is helped by Yahweh through the love which he has towards his neighbor. For Yosef also pleaded with our father that he would pray for his brothers, that Yahweh would not reckon as sin to them whatever evil they had done to him. And thus Yaakov cried out, My good child, you have prevailed over the inward parts of your father Yaakov. And he embraced him and kissed him for 2 hours. Therefore, you see, my sons, the end of the good man. Therefore, be followers of his compassion with a good heart, that you also may wear crowns of esteem. For the good man does not have a darkened eye, for he shows favor to all men, even though they are sinners. And though concerning him they devise with evil intent, by doing good he overcomes evil, being shielded by Yahweh. And he loves the righteous as his own being. If anyone is esteemed, he does not envy him. If anyone is enriched, he is not jealous. If anyone is brave, he praises him. The noble man be extolled. The noble man he extols. Sorry about that. He shows favor on the poor man. He has compassion on the weak. To Yahweh he sings praises. As for he who has the reverence of Yahweh, he protects him as with a shield. He that loves Yahweh, he helps. He that rejects the Most High, he warns and turns back. And he that has the favor of a good spirit, he loves as his own being. Therefore, if you also have a good heart, then both wicked men shall be at peace with you, and the reprobate shall revere you and turn to good. And those greedy for gain shall not only cease from their excessive desire, but even give the objects of their greed to those who are afflicted. If you do well, even the unclean spirits shall flee from you, and the beasts shall fear you. For where there is reverence for good works and light in the heart, even darkness flees away from him. For if anyone does violence to a Kodesh man, he repents, for the Kodesh man is compassionate to his reviler and holds his peace. And if anyone betrays a righteous man, the righteous man prays, though for a little he is humbled, yet not long after he appears far more esteemed, as was Yosef my brother. The inclination of the good man is not in the power of the deceit of the spirit of Belial, for the messenger of peace guides his being. And he does not look longingly upon corruptible matters, nor gathers together riches through a desire of pleasure. He does not delight in pleasure. He does not distress his neighbor. He does not satisfy himself with luxuries. He does not stray in the uplifting of the eyes. Yahweh is his portion. The good inclination does not receive esteem nor dishonor from men, and it does not know any deceit or falsehood or fighting or reviling, for Yahweh dwells in him and lights up his being, and he rejoices toward all men always. The good heart does not have two tongues, of barakah and of cursing, of insolence and of respect, of sorrow and of joy, of peace and of confusion, of hypocrisy and of truth, of poverty and of wealth. But it has one inclination, righteous and pure concerning all men. It has no double sight, nor double hearing, for in all which he does or speaks or sees, he knows that Yahweh looks on his being. And he cleanses his heart so that he is not condemned by men, as well as by the Most High. And likewise, the works of Belial are twofold, and there is no sincerity in them. Therefore, my sons, I tell you, flee the evil of Belial, for he gives a sword to those that obey him. And the sword is the mother of 7 evils. At the beginning, the heart conceives through Belial, and first there is bloodshed, second, ruin, third, affliction, fourth, exile, fifth, scarcity of food, sixth, confusion, seventh, destruction. Therefore, Cain was also delivered over to 7 vengeances by the Most High, for in every 100 years Yahweh brought one plague upon him. And when he was 200 years old, he began to suffer, and in the 900th year he was destroyed, for he was judged on account of Hevel, his brother, with all the evils. But Lamech was 70 times 7. Because those who are like Cain and Eve in envy and hatred of brothers shall be punished forever with the same judgment. And you, my sons, flee evildoing, envy, and hatred of brothers, and cling to goodness and love. He that has a pure heart in love does not look after a woman with a view to whoring. For he has no defilement in his heart, because the Ruach of Yahweh rests upon him. For as the sun is not defiled by shining on dung and mire, sorry about that, but rather dries up both and drives away the evil smell, so also the pure heart, though surrounded by the defilements of earth, rather cleanses and is not defiled itself. And I believe that among you there shall also be evil doings, from the words of Hanok the righteous, that you shall commit whoring with the whore whoring of Sedom, and shall perish, all except a few, and shall renew shameless deeds with women, and the reign of Yahweh shall not be among you, for he shall take it away immediately. Nevertheless, the Hechal of the Most High shall be in your portion, and the last shall be more esteemed than the first. And the 12 tribes shall be gathered together there, and all the Gentiles, until the Most High shall send forth his salvation in the visitation of an only brought forth Navi. Now, when Yosef was in Mitzrayim, I longed to see his figure and the form of his face. And through the prayers of Yaakov my father, I saw him, while awake in the daytime, even his entire figure exactly as he was. And when he had said these words, he said to them, Know therefore, my sons, that I am dying. You therefore work truth and righteousness each one to his neighbor, and right ruling unto acceptance, and guard the Torah of Yahweh and his commands. For these words I leave you instead of inheritance. You therefore also give them to your children for an everlasting possession. For so did both Abraham and Yitzchak and Yaakov. For all these words they gave us for an inheritance, saying, Guard the commands of the Most High, until Yahweh shall reveal his deliverance to all Gentiles. And then you shall see Hanok, Noach, and Shem, and Abraham, and Yitzchak, and Yaakov, rising on the right hand in gladness. Then we also shall rise, each one over our tribe, worship be the sovereign of the Shamaim. Then all men shall also rise, some to esteem and some to shame. Therefore, my sons, if you walk in the Kodesh, according to the commands of Yahweh, you shall again dwell safely with me, and all Yisrael shall be gathered to Yahweh. And I shall no longer be called a ravening wolf on account of your ravages, but a worker of Yahweh, distributing food to those who do what is good. And in the latter times there shall rise up from my seed one beloved of Yahweh, hearing his voice, and the doer of the good pleasure of his desire, enlightening all the Gentiles with new knowledge, even the light of knowledge bursting in upon Yisrael for deliverance. And when he finished his words, he said, I command you, my sons, carry up my bones out of Mitzrayim, and bury me in Hebron near my fathers. So Binyamin died 125 years old at a good old age, and they placed him in a coffin. And in the 91st year from the entrance of the children of Yisrael into Mitzrayim, they and their brothers brought up the bones of their fathers secretly during the battle of Canaan, and they buried them in Hebron by the feet of their fathers. And they returned from the land of Canaan and dwelt in Mitzrayim until the day of their departure from the land of Mitzrayim. Okay, well, we're finished with that. I don't know exactly what I'm going to read next. Something fascinating, I'm sure. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Praise Yahweh. And always look